Hi guys, this is kind of a really random and kind of different video that I kind of want to start doing a little bit more, where I kind of just give some like off the cuff kind of thoughts and when I'm standing in my like gaming section that you normally see quite a way back. And I just kind of want to talk about today like why I just love gaming so much and some of the reasons I think I just really enjoy picking up all the new games and just really have got into this whole hobby. So I want to kind of talk a little bit about my personal life a little bit in this video. So if you get bored of that, don't need to listen, but this is personally just why I got into gaming and why I love gaming so much and how it's helped me through life in general. So I kind of just want to do that kind of talk today. But anyway, to start off with, I didn't actually play many games when I was young. I really didn't do much stuff. I wasn't allowed a console. I think my first actual system would have been a Game Boy when I was probably like, I don't know, maybe like 8, 9 years old, and very limited, budget on what we could get. We didn't have a lot of money as a family, so I had a Game Boy and I remember playing Robots. If you guys know the Robot films, that franchise, there was a Robots game and I remember very fondly playing that game on it, and I don't really remember playing many other games on it, but maybe there was some. But that was my first kind of thing into gaming. Didn't really get into it heavily though. It wasn't something that I had a lot of time. So just to fill you in, when I was young, I used to be a dancer. I actually went to a very good vocational ballet school, so prepare for the rude comments and insulting me in the comments down below. Hopefully not all of them, but I went to a dance school and did that for a long time in my life. From the age of 3 all the way up until the age of like 16, I actually was doing that for most of my life. Most of my life was spent doing that, training at a very professional level. I ended up fracturing my spine and I couldn't carry on, so there's that, so I don't do it anymore. But I had that in my life, so it really wasn't a lot of time for gaming. But what I did do is using that time where I did have was a real comfort thing. Like I remember I got a PSP, that was my second system a little bit later. And the games I played on that very much became like comfort things. Obviously, being at the Royal Ballet School, it was a boarding school. I had to it's great to have a PSP to take with me, and that very much became like a comfort thing. I would have brutal days all the time. Really hasn't helped me in my life mentally, but really brutal times at that school. And to be honest, like having that thing just with me became an attachment and something that just helped me through it. I would look forward to the evenings where it was something that I could actually enjoy and do something that maybe I wanted to do. Going on from there, again, I was only home with my family every weekend. I'd be away from home all the time. My first home console that I actually had was a PlayStation 3. That was my first actual home console. Now, that was probably when I was like 14 years old. So I was away from home all the time. I was only able to come home at weekends. Basically, I would have to do stuff all the way up to 1:30 in the afternoon on a Saturday. And then it would be like 2 hours to get home in the car. So I'd leave at 1:30 and I would have to be back in the evening by like 8 o'clock on Sunday. That was my time at home forever while I was at this school, all the way up until like whatever year 11 is in the UK, so like 16 basically. So from 14 till 16, I had my PS3 at home, and it was something that I would so look forward to the weekends, so I could go home, play things like Call of Duty Zombies with my brother, because he was also at a dance school, a different one, but all the way in another part of the country. And it was such an attachment thing. It was such a thing of like having these certain games, having these certain titles, doing this thing helped me so much through life. And then also, then later on in my life as well, I'm not going to do the whole life story, but slightly later, we'll skip a load of stuff, but slightly later on in my life, my parents got a divorce. So that was only like the last like 4 years of my life. Making these videos for you guys, talking to you guys about games is something that like has helped me so much. Having these games of points and staples in my life of like, this is what was going on in that time. This game, one of my fondest ones was remembering Spider-Man Miles Morales, this very modern thing, Spider-Man Miles Morales coming out on PS5 and getting my PS5 console and dealing with the stress of my parents' divorce, going through all that kind of stuff, playing that game, really diving into it, taking me out of this freaking awful world sometimes to do something like that, make videos for you guys. It's helped so much. So I kind of want to talk about that because it's just such a lot. I have such a love for these games that it's just an escape from the real world sometimes, and that's okay. Sometimes we need it. And something that frustrates me with especially some of the older generation who criticize people for playing games, yet will go home and sit watch Netflix for hours. At least we're doing something. We're escaping into a story that we are controlling, rather than watching EastEnders for hours on end that you aren't controlling, aren't doing anything with. The story's, I don't know, probably crap, I haven't watched it, but it's, you know what I mean? Like, at least we're doing something. And that has just helped me so much through various times. And it's just like something that I just want to talk about. Like, I love games. These things have just helped me, pushed me through times when I've been down and feeling really, really rough with things going on in my life. And each one is a chapter. And it's one of the things I love about physical games. Each one of these PS5 games, especially because now I'm getting really into collecting. I have my own financial stability and stuff. Each one is like a chapter of my life. Like, there's different things going on. And another chapter, I'm gonna be moving house very, very soon. So all this is gonna be changing in the next year. I think towards the end of next year, we should have an entire games room that looks really, really insane. And again, that's gonna be another thing that I've like, this documents chapters. Like, I look at some of these games and I'm like, oh, I remember I was doing this thing then, or like Callisto Protocol. I have a really fond memory of my brother coming down to visit from his house in Wales, and we were playing the Callisto Protocol together. I could say something about nearly every game in this entire catalogue of like stories, emotions, things I was going through at that point in my life. Sorry for the shaky camera. I really need to get like a tripod, and we will do that soon. But that's why I love gaming, man. It's just helped me so much through so many instances of difficulty, low points. I'm not going to sit here and say I have depression. I think I just had a pretty rough time in life with various different people in my life and various different things. Like the dance school was incredibly horrible and awful for me, made me feel terrible about myself, still has affected me. And I'm not going to say I have depression, because I do not want to be one of those people. I think I struggle in like social groups, and I struggle with everything that's happened, but I have my ways of dealing with it. And that's this thing right here. This is just the way that I deal with things. I go into a different reality. I get to go into an experience. I get to go and do something different in a world that isn't filled with, well, can be filled with awfulness in these games, but is filled with awfulness in a different way, of people not trying to be out to get you and hurt you and things like that. So that's why I love all this stuff so much. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys have any deep personal attachments to gaming? Would you like me to go deeper into some of my stories about my past and things that I've gone with? Because I'm always interested to talk about that stuff. Let me know what you guys think, and what stories have you got that gaming's helped you through so many things. I'm sure some people will have the exact same thing that I have, of gaming just being something that's there for you, and it's never going. It's always there for you, and it's just that reliable thing. Not to say I don't have any other things in my life. I have a girlfriend who does everything for me and has helped me through so much stuff. But I'm just talking about this particular situation, especially in my childhood, how these things, these things that people have created just help everybody get through stuff. So always interested to hear your stories if you're willing to share them in the comments, and I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think of this kind of style video. I figured we'd do this a little bit more where I just talk, and in a different situation, sometimes different to what we do on the news stuff, but let me know. So thank you for watching. See you on the next one.